Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hair Raiser podcast.
Oh, aloha. Welcome to the show. This episode, the Jacks close out the regular season in convincing fashion at Missouri State. Just South Dakota likely shook up the FCS bracket, and that's going to be released in just a few minutes. And the SDSU women struggled against Georgia Tech. And of course, we'll play three headlines in a lie with special guest. You may know him and the guy in a blue fedora, one Brian Ruck. Ruck, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Rook is not wearing a blue fedora.
I did not bring it today, so
That's right. We just got to use something that, the tens of people listening know. Philip, this is upsetting to me. I have the best background in the history of 1,000 Suns, and this garbage Wi-Fi is not letting.
Maybe it'll work. We have to take a picture of yourself. Why don't you tell everybody where you're at and why you have such a beautiful background?
We're out on Oahu watching the SDSU women play in the North Shore Classic. Took on Georgia Tech yesterday, and they will have Oregon on Tuesday. And over 3 days into this little trip here, and still haven't been laid. So, and now the audio and now the video don't work. So this is just
It looked like you were at a luau last night. You didn't even get laid at the luau last night?
No, apparently you got to upgrade for that.
What's that cost?
I don't know.
Should have looked into it.
Jeez, I got laid before I left the airport when I went to Hawaii.
What was his name?
Oh, so Eric, being that you're always in charge of this stuff, do we want to talk basketball or let's talk football and then we'll get to basketball because they'll reach a point after this stuff pops up. So we all have an extra whatever to see the picks, right?
An extra whatever, yeah.
Like a TV screen, something to see.
I'll tell you what. The football I watched yesterday was the last 3 minutes of the USD SDSU game because the Jacks had it well in hand. So if you guys have commentary on SDSU Missouri State, I would think
that's not correct.
Huh?
It was NDSU USD.
Right. What was the commentary on the USD or SDSU game?
Yep.
It was very workmanlike. We went down to Springfield and took it to them. Like Missouri State theoretically is good, and they're not, which I think is indicative of what the rest of the FCS is. It's the top 5 teams and then everybody else. That's my thoughts on it.
The top 5.
I read something where the Jacks have only scored, or they've only allowed 7 touchdowns in the last 10 games. So
right,
the defense is on par with last year again.
We even gave them a chance. We muffed a kickoff right at the 3-yard line. We're like, here's a touchdown. Go ahead and score it. I mean, we're going to try, but go ahead and, score and put up a touchdown so you can make it 10. And then they couldn't even do that because our defense is just that good. Looks like Gronowski and Wilde are getting on pace together.
He spread the ball out
right
pretty good yesterday. And then now we have a 4-headed monster in the backfield.
Right.
Just 3.
Right. When you just keep bringing in, and they're all kind of, different football players. Angel Johnson at any point can take it to the house. Amar is Amar, right? But then you bring in Voorhees, who can just pound it in there, but then also break one. And then the true freshman who
Maxwell
Woods, who we've saved until this game. Yeah, until the playoffs. So I don't know. We took care of business, but I don't know. I, like you, Eric, I had the SDSU game on the center TV with USD on the side, and then I don't know, halftime, SDSU got moved over to the side so I could watch USD and DSU because that was the more thrilling game.
Well, I'm no football analyst, but that looked like a complete breakdown of defense on one play, and there you have it.
That last drive by USD was absolutely incredible. Whoever that wide receiver is, for him to come down, got his foot in, because they called it incomplete.
Yeah.
I probably watched as much of that game as I did the SDSU game. But him to make that catch, and then what did they? Oh, he got sacked. and then they thought, well, they're just going to spike it, right? And NDS didn't even try, and that dude was wide open in the end zone. It was
that was a mistake. Something went perfectly wrong.
Okay. Now, question for all you guys: who did you find yourselves cheering for as the game progressed?
Very conflicting. Very conflicting. I had that game on my phone, and I watched an 8-inch screen far more than I did my 70-inch television right in front of me with the SDSU game on it. I was cheering for USD. I found myself. I even checked myself a little bit. I started watching it, not really cheering, and then I ended watching it cheering for USD. I will fully admit that.
I physically got up and cheered when they scored that touchdown. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know we're supposed to hate USD, but I hate NDSU more than I hate USD, and stood up and, like, mostly because I couldn't believe they came back, but stood up off my couch and, like, cheered. I feel great.
Like watching a Rocky fight. While you're watching it, you slowly start cheering for Rocky, knowing they were the underdog while watching the fight.
But Rocky, everybody's supposed to cheer for Rocky. Like, I don't like as
well,
SDSU.
Okay, think Rocky 4 when he's fighting the Russian.
You're comparing NDSU to Ivan Drago.
I guess you could say that, yeah.
Mark's got a lot of range.
Right.
I'm with you. When they scored that final touchdown, I jumped up. I couldn't contain myself.
It was
my
pretty
favorite
simple
part
out
of
here.
yesterday. Oh,
it was pretty simple out here. Jeff said he would buy the whole table shaved ice if USD won. So done and done.
So you guys got some shaved ice in Hawaii. Yep. Hits different. Okay, here's coming up. FCS selection special. Before they do it, where do you think we're going to end up? After going to bed, I thought we'd probably be 4. And now this morning, reading a few things, I think we will be 2. Rook?
My favorite part of after the game was all the pundits that
think they know something.
And the NDSU group is still thinking they're 2.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. Mark, where do you think we're going to end up?
3.
Gerlach?
I'm in the 2 camp.
Great. We're number 1 in Massey. We're number 1 in Sagrins. We got the automatic qualifier from the Missouri Valley Football Conference. I mean, we had the hardest schedule.
I could be persuaded into a 2. If you look at points for and points against just in the conference, we have 78 points against. That's points scored against us in the conference. The next closest is NDSU at 114 and USD at 131. Great. Points for NDSU 308. We're 309 and USD is 307.
But I think the Incarnate Word beating them is a big deal now. That's a big win for us because they're a top 8
At that time,
seed.
It wasn't a huge deal, but where they ended up and they ran the gamut in their conference. So
USD losing that game or not getting to play, who was it, Portland State?
Yeah.
Having that game taken away, will that hurt them?
No.
I don't, not after beating NDSU yesterday and taking us to overtime.
The Bison pundits are mocking USD and SDSU for playing Division II this year, and they're saying that should.
Let me pull up their conference game or their games, because at the end of the day, Augie was probably better than whatever team they play. Even though Augie also, like NDSU, wet the bed yesterday at the end of that game. That was incredible how badly they screwed that thing up. I'm pulling up NDSU's schedule. Right,
they have a couple Tennessees with Tennessee State.
Well, yeah, and they should have lost to Eastern Tennessee State. I mean, they absolutely should have lost to Eastern Tennessee State.
NDSU got beat by Colorado, and then they beat Tennessee State, Eastern Tennessee, Townsend, and then they started Valley play.
Right. Tennessee State, I guarantee SDSU could beat Tennessee, or Augustana could beat Tennessee State. The only thing that everybody knows is that that Montana State, they just put it up. Montana State, the number 1 seed. So we'll find out here. Yeah, they're good. I watched some of their game on one of the TVs. Oh, NDSU got the 2. They did. Oh my gosh. That's just because of the history of NDSU. That's fine. Give us the 3. We'll go up to Fargo and beat the piss out of them. Whatever. Is that because they played Colorado close? Maybe these guys will tell us. We probably should maybe turn it up a little bit, but okay, we got the 3. Yep. Which I don't know if I'd rather have the 3 than the 4, right? I mean, we should have I don't know. I'd rather go to the Fargo Dome than go out to Montana State.
Philip, what are those 4 little words I've tried to teach you to tell me most of your life?
Shut up.
Mark, you were right.
I don't I don't know. Oh, it is USD. I thought, UC
That
Davis,
looked like SEMO for a second.
right? UC Davis could say that they also had a reason to be anywhere from 2 to 5, right?
Well, they'll be 5.
Right, but I mean, their only loss was to Montana State, who's the number 1 seed. Now, granted, they played in the Big Sky, but so it did play out like everybody kind of figured it would.
If I'm hearing you guys correctly, it's NDSU or Montana State 1, NDSU 2, SDSU 3, USD 4.
Correct.
Right.
And so really the only thing that changed was flipping the 1 and the 2 with yesterday's game, right?
Yep.
Right. And it doesn't matter. I don't know, this might not be great, but hear their explanation, but
No, that makes sense.
whatever. So that answered everybody's questions. Twitter will be full of all sorts of information, all sorts of whatever. Now we need to keep watching to see who we get in our first round, but I don't know. That's why you take care of business. You make that catch up in the Fargo Dome, or you make some plays up in the Fargo Dome. But we were young. I have zero fear of going up to Fargo and having to play India.
We're a different team than we were then.
And I don't think they've changed. I don't think they've gotten much better. I mean, just them playing USD can kind of show that. I don't know. Yep, that makes.
We can't be muffing a kickoff on the 3-yard line against
Yeah.
India.
No, and we won't. We'll be dialed in that game. So now the big question is, if we do we go to Fargo for a playoff game? Just can't go to that place.
Well,
I can't. I don't know.
I went up to UND a couple weeks back. It was
UND's different though.
Yeah.
UND's irrelevant. They know they're not great. Right? Like UND fans, Gerlach. Although UND fans, I would say, are about the same as NDSU fans, and they're just stupid attitudes.
Yeah,
I mean,
they didn't like
they
your
weren't very
hairdo.
nice to us, huh?
They didn't like your hairdo at all when you were there.
Well, yeah, I can't help it. I'm bald. Yeah, they threw out a male pattern baldness. Mercer.
They were screaming something about.
So who was the 6? We missed that.
Yeah, who was the 6? Incarnate Word?
I wasn't watching.
I think it was Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
So if Incarnate Word wins, we have to play, and we win. We have to play Incarnate Word in the quarterfinals. Would that be correct?
Correct.
Who a matchup, Idaho and Montana State on the horizon. That'd be Idaho. I don't know. I think Idaho is getting better and figuring out their quarterback situation. Maybe Idaho does upset Montana State. That'd be fun. USD will beat UC Davis, I think.
That's a tall order at Montana State.
Yeah, Eck can do it, though. The magic of Eck is incredible, I think.
It wasn't very magical when they played Albany last year.
That's true. Yeah, they pissed that one away at
Yeah.
home. That's true. That's a valid point. But maybe they're going to throw a wrinkle in everything and upset the.
I don't think
Number one seed.
Eck wanted to come to Brookings.
No, I think you're right. I think he had zero desire to come
Yeah.
to Brookings. Hey, by the way, I'm just going to point out, everybody notice the new on the new hair razor logo that we have up in the corner. It's pretty cool. I stole, the JIAI. That's artificial intelligence picture that I put up.
I thought maybe Eric found something when he was in Germany.
Some sort of new photo for us.
Yeah.
Mike, luckily for me, Rook brought some beers this morning. I rushed from the church to here, and Rook was at the front door. My youngest daughter, who was home with a cold, was calling out saying there's a weird man at the front door or asking. But Rook brought me some mango cart. He bought me a mango cart when we were at the championship game last year in Frisco. First time I got introduced to it, and I appreciated it then, and I appreciate it now.
What is the beverage of choice for you out in Hawaii, Eric?
Yeah, what have you been drinking?
We had the brew tour Friday afternoon. We would have to refer to the Snapchats to see where we went. I don't remember.
Well, that means it was a good brew tour if you can't remember where you all went.
It was fantastic, as per usual.
And then you went to a luau last night, it looked like.
Well, it was a show. It had luau properties to it. Yeah,
It was luau-esque.
it was luau-esque. You had your people doing some fire twirling. You had the
Fire twirling.
well, considerable amount of dance and song, but it wasn't like a luau. Don't you have to like eat some roasted pig for it to be a luau?
I think there should be pig involved for a luau, yes.
Well, see, it was sans the pig.
Oh,
It was pretty good.
That's okay. So, we'll keep moving. I don't think there's anything else in the football games yesterday. Illinois State won. They should make the playoffs, right? No, I'm going back.
Yeah, definitely.
So Illinois State should
be a top 16.
Yeah, I think they'll get another home game. It would have been nice to be able to play Illinois State. Northern Iowa got their win, so they finally got a conference win.
Farley went out with a win.
With a bang. Good. Adios, Farley. He's too. I don't know. He thinks he's a bigger deal than what he is in college football. So adios. And UND does what they do and lost on the road to Illinois State. So remember at the beginning of the year, Eric, when you said UND was good? And
they started out all right.
They beat Montana State or Montana at home.
Right. I thought the Brawl of the Wild would be a much better game yesterday, but that was an absolute piss pounding. I mean, just an absolute train wreck of a game for Montana. Should we talk women's basketball, being that you're out there, Gerlach? Give us so the games were on Baller TV, and Baller TV is what they use for AAU basketball during the summers. And I bought a subscrition to Baller TV.
You own Baller TV?
No, I don't own Baller. If I did own Baller TV, it'd probably be run much better. But my subscription to Baller TV did not include the actual, what do I want to say?
Video?
That apparent whatever game, which is crap because I accidentally bought the full year subscription to Baller TV instead of the 3 months and tried to get my money back. Baller TV, it's just such a joke. So, anyways,
I thought you had all the games anyway. What do you need Baller TV for?
For my parents and Jen's parents.
Oh,
they like to watch, and then you can also, like, if you have Baller TV, you can also pull clips off for huddle video or whatever recruiting videos.
There you go.
So,
well, you didn't miss anything. SDSU goes down 71-57. They couldn't shoot. SDSU couldn't shoot. They couldn't rebound, and they turned the ball over. But other than that, I have no opinion.
So other than that, they played pretty well.
Yes. No, I mean.
And they only had, 2 in double figures?
Yeah, Brooklyn Meyer and Haley Timmer each had 12.
Yeah.
They again, if you were at the Duke game, one thing we noticed at the Duke game, a lot of rebounds just bouncing the wrong way, not in position, or boxing out so hard that they're not going after the ball after it comes off the rim and easy layups for the other team. That seemed to continue, but that was compounded by the fact that just couldn't knock down a three. I don't know if they knocked down a three in the first quarter or not. Nobody could really shoot.
Right. Do you think that's because of too much time on the beach and in the ocean? Everybody gets sunburned. Oh,
you know what? You're on the road, but so is Georgia Tech.
Right, Georgia Tech had a much longer time to travel. When did they play again? They don't play today.
They play Tuesday.
Okay.
They got till a bigger, tougher task on Tuesday. Oregon's got a 6'8" huge human being that's on their teams. They were all in the gym watching the game on Saturday. That's going to be a tough matchup.
And they're ranked. They're ranked 23rd.
I think they or they at least took over the 25 spot from SDSU last time I read something.
I have up on ESPN right now. They're ranked 23rd. Okay.
Yeah, SDSU worked it back to 9 just before half, and then Georgia Tech drives the length of the court, gets fouled, makes it 11 at half, and they led wire to wire.
Right.
So, Eric, question for you. You watch more SDSU women's basketball than the rest of us probably put together, but would you say this is a comeback to earth type, I don't know, just a talent check for SDSU, or that Georgia Tech's just that much better? Or we just had a really bad game?
They seemed, well, the shooting was gone. If SDSU's shooting well, I think they can play with just about anybody. But if they're not knocking down threes, they don't seem to have the ability to play with a bigger physical team and get rebounds on missed shots. I mean, I don't know if there's second half opportunities or just if you go back and read how many second chance points Duke had, I'm going to say that Georgia Tech's probably right there. Same type of idea.
I find we're bigger than what we have been in past years, though, with Brooklyn and Byam and
Tyson. Yeah, but they get
Tyson.
You know, once they'll switch on a screen, and then there's some bad matchups. It is glaring. You can see that.
Okay.
You know, but Madison Blashman got in the game. She was 0 for 6 from 3,
Yikes.
and it was a rough 0 for 6. Like they didn't just exactly rim out.
So they weren't even close to going in, is what you're saying.
So you're saying she's a little rusty.
Yep, I'm saying that, and it's tough to. I mean, you don't want to be critical of anybody, but I mean that's what we saw the other day.
You can be critical. That's okay. Nobody listens to us, anyways.
Well, it was just you could see it in her shot, and then after missing 3 and 4, 5 and 6 really got one looked like a shot put. I mean,
right? Because once you start missing.
There was no risk. No, the ball was a knuckleball, and she kind of shoots a little bit of a knuckleball, but it was just kind of tossed towards the rim.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to have some of these types of games every now and then, right? So it is what it is. It happens.
Here's their starters. Tyson was 0 for 3. Mathewitz was 0 for 3, and Pagemeyer was 2 for 11. So when you're getting that out of your starting lineup, not good.
And even, I mean, Haley was 5 for 10, but 1 for 4 on. And Brooklyn, they must play pretty good defense that she did not ever get to the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, it was a physical game. What ends up happening to me is they're working so hard to get that shot, and then they're expecting shot blockers coming. And then there were several bunnies that just got missed where there was no defense, but they were expecting contact. They're expecting the shot blocker to come from help side and just fired the ball off the rim, off the backboard. You know how that goes when you're expecting the block to come and you're hustling, you're hurrying your shot or something like that. That happened more than once as well.
Right.
But you look at some of their recent tournaments like this, they've usually had one bad game and then they'll play really, really well against another one.
Right.
So
yeah, watch us come out and beat Oregon now.
Well, look what this is all setting them up for. I mean, it's all a process.
More basketball
it this way. He schedules this way on purpose.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, one, this is a fun trip and fun tournament to get invited to, right? Like these are college kids who get to go to Hawaii and play basketball. But two, you're right. Like they get to play against good teams, and these types of games is what prepares us for the postseason tournament, right? For the NCAA tournament, not for the Summit League, because the Summit League is going to be so bad this year in women's basketball that, I mean, we could probably throw out our second 5 and still win that thing.
He needs to start scheduling some non-cons during the conference season because the conference
is that even possible?
Yeah, you can put games in.
Like a Saturday night game or a Tuesday game? I don't know. Because it always seems like once you get in a conference play, that's kind of the end of it.
Well, it's a different atmosphere. It's a little concerning when you can hear Scotty Claus calling the game from across the court.
So in my preview of the game on Baller TV, it looked like you were playing in the auxiliary gym at Washington High School.
No, I mean it's a decent gym. According to their banner, the BYU Hawaii women won the Division II national championship in 2002.
They're playing at BYU Hawaii, so that's like IPFW, like Indiana, Fort Wayne, Purdue. Like we're part of Purdue, but yet not really.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Or like Nebraska Kearney.
it was quite the atmosphere, though. The the poor John Kleinjohn and Jeff Petos couldn't find no concessions, no water. There's the people at the gate told them about a soda machine that was, just a quaint half-mile away from the stadium, which they went to, and it was empty.
So they just made a mile round trip.
That's right. They came back fuming.
Back to the selection show, just because they put it up there, we were the automatic qualifier.
Yep.
That obviously means zero.
They go on the Sagarin.
But we had a higher Sagarin. We had a higher mass.
Sagarin doesn't matter in the FCS committee.
Maybe it helps to have, your athletic director be a part of the committee and lobbying everybody that you're better. I'm sure that could be it. He probably said, "Oh, we need to play it in Fargo." I really hope they lose to whoever they have to play in the second or in the quarterfinals. I mean, I hope that anyways, because I hate them. I just hate
India. Doesn't ruin your day there.
No, it doesn't. But I just hate India.
From
I hate anybody else.
Church, you got a lot of hate going on there.
I know, and it was gratitude. We're supposed to be grateful for everything. I should be grateful that we, have a first round bye and that, we're the 3 seed and that we're a good football team. But
then you have a killer logo.
We have a new epic logo of like a bartender in an old school Deadwood bar, right?
Here's some seeds.
Okay, so New Hampshire is the number 16. So that's who. Yeah, they'll throw the whole bracket out. Is New Hampshire good? The FCS is so watered down when you get past those first 5.
It just doesn't anything, especially with Delaware leaving. So
right. So who are they gonna have to play? Like Duquesne? All right. Anything else from Hawaii, Eric? Other than it, make sure you bring concessions. Can you bring concessions in? Like, can you bring beers into this basketball arena?
Oh, I don't. However you pronounce it. Lei, Hawaii. That is a dry town. There's no ABC stores. There's no booze of any kind.
It's a campus of BYU.
Right.
Mormons don't drink. So.
Right.
Nope.
So you didn't even get laid as you walked into the basketball game.
Nope. They did have coffee at the buffet though, so I think caffeine's not on the menu for your Mormon population either. So
right, so caffeine is a part of it, right?
Yeah, but that coffee was well caffeinated. So that or some type of an.
So what's on the schedule? Right, what's on the schedule for today then?
All right, we got the trip up to Pearl Harbor coming up here in about 20 minutes, so we're gonna head out on this side of the country.
Okay.
Pearl Harbor. Beach day tomorrow. Let me tell you something.
Surf lessons?
No. Well, that lesson won't last very long.
Usually you surf in shallow water on a reef.
Eric isn't a swimmer, so
he just sunk like a rock.
Right. Just don't hit your head on a rock while surfing.
For staying as part of the Hilton Hawaiian Village, they could give you a beach chair and an umbrella without. You know what it costs for 2 chairs and an umbrella?
$47.
No.
Oh, too high?
$94.
Oh, wow. You can go to the ABC store and just buy one and leave it on the beach.
That's what we talked about. That's
$94 for each?
No, $94 for 2 chairs and an umbrella. And then each additional chair if you do one more, would be $26.75. Right.
So when we were in Spain this summer, we needed a shade, and we just bought a shade, and it was
just bought a shade.
Well, like a whatever you were talking about, not a chair, but the
umbrella.
Umbrella, right? We're like, we're just gonna buy this and leave it. And then when we were leaving on our last day, there was this, family sitting there, and we said, here you go. Here's a shade for you. They said for free. I said, yeah, it's a very Texas looking shade anyway, so I don't want it. Have fun.
So you refer to umbrellas as shade?
Well, it does provide shade when on a beach.
That's probably wildly confusing when you walked in the store and said, do you have any shade?
Sir,
No,
you
it didn't.
cast enough shade for all of us.
It was wild. It was wildly confusing when I walked in and spoke English anyways in Spain, so it didn't matter. Should we? Okay, I think if you need to go, we probably need to keep rolling. Do we want to talk anything about the SDSU men's basketball game?
Well, they should be playing here shortly.
Right. I don't know what
they're
that's
in Cayman?
on. Yeah, they're in the
12:30
Cayman Islands.
Central against
They
Duquesne.
looked really good the other night against
Southern Mississippi.
Southern Mississippi. The nice thing is Clough's going to get his 15 and 10, and then where all the other points come from, you have no idea.
Is Joe Saylor hurt? He didn't play the other day.
He got hurt out at that Rapid game.
What happened?
Ankle,
I missed that. Okay.
but he was on the fence of playing down at the Cayman. But
Right.
then they got Isaac Lindsey back,
Yeah, I saw.
and he looks good. Got
Right.
a nice smooth touch.
He'll be a nice addition. I wonder who he takes minutes from when Saylor and everybody's back.
Maybe Hendo goes 10 deep.
I don't know why he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good enough to do that. This game today is on Flow Sports. Flow Sports might be worse than Baller TV
That's
when
the
it comes
one
to
that
sports.
The CAA
Right.
has, and
Always
it's
uses
awful.
and like wrestling, a lot of wrestling uses Flow Sports. It's absolutely terrible. Oh, there we go. Illinois State gets the 12th seed playing Southeast CMU, right?
Well,
I think that's
That's a regional game if there's regional
right.
games.
But they probably didn't play each other this year, so that's nice. They can probably drive to each other.
So that this year the change was they went to a 1 through 16 versus 1 through 8, and then
Right.
they could regionalize the first round.
Right. But then at least Illinois State, if it took kind of the bidding out, right? So Illinois State then doesn't have to bid and they get that home they get that home football game as opposed to I would assume the first round still has to bid. I don't know. Maybe it took all the bidding out.
No,
I would
think it took
assume
the bidding out.
yeah. So this takes all the bidding out. So the 9 through 16 seeds get their home field and they move on.
So where did Illinois State land? Because they can't host.
They were the 12 seed.
They go to
So
UC Davis
yeah.
if they beat SEMO.
But they got to play on the road to start.
Nope, they're at home. They get to play at home against Southeast Missouri State.
SEMO lost yesterday to
But were they
UT
not
Martin.
the school that said we can't host because we have state football?
Oh, that I didn't know.
Where did
Maybe.
you hear that?
Maybe not.
I'm pretty sure it was Illinois State that said even if we are a host site, we can't host because state football is already happening.
Would you like me to look that up?
Yeah, why don't you
No,
look
just
it up?
just sit there and stare. That's fine. Don't bother.
That's what we brought you on for, Mark. Is to look
Hey,
that stuff.
And Tarleton,
and your very good insight on things.
Tarleton's the 13. If they win, they would go to USD.
Right. And then pull up the next one after this.
If they're going to show who Tarleton's
Who-
playing.
Who is Tarleton State?
So do the Jacks still go down there next year, or is that going to get bought out?
To Tarleton?
That's on the schedule for next year. Because Tarleton was supposed to come here a couple years ago, and then we ended up playing
I don't know.
Lindenwood
Oh yeah.
because they backed out.
Well, we'll find out.
The answer I got. The answer I got is yes. Illinois State can host a playoff game in the FCS playoffs.
All right. So Craig Haley said I checked in with Illinois State Athletics. Even if the Redbirds land a number 9 to 16 seed for the FCS playoff first round, the school can't serve as a host site November 29 or 30 due to the IHSA state football playoffs being previously scheduled at Hancock Stadium. Mark, you're terrible at
Don't know
everything
what's
you do there. It's the worst.
Conflicting messages, I guess.
The
I guess
Drake
we'll find out.
Bulldogs go to Tarleton.
Oh yeah, Drake. So USD will play Tarleton and pound them. I don't know. They should just do away with everything until they get to the top 8 seeds. Let's just get rid of all the rest, and even the top 8 seeds is going to be irrelevant, other than UC Davis and USD. Is my thought. Should we keep going?
As long as I brought up state high school type playoffs, Mr. Rook's just coming off state volleyball. Any comments? Because we're not doing a Lincoln Corner, but we need our.
Oh, you want a rundown from the state volleyball tournament?
So I have a question, and Eric kind of educated me on this, but O'Gorman, it should have been O'Gorman and Harrisburg in the championship. Wouldn't that have been a better championship game? I mean, Harrisburg is better, but wouldn't that have been a better championship game?
I always thought that O'Gorman had the hitters.
Right.
You have to have power to beat Harrisburg. I mean, Harrisburg.
I'm not saying beat them, but like, who did Harrisburg beat last night?
Washington.
Washington.
And
That's
probably
the second year in a
3-0.
row. No, 3-1. Washington.
Oh, it did. Okay,
take the game
okay.
off
I
of
take
them.
it all back. Then maybe
Yeah.
Washington should have been the 2 seed.
But Harrisburg, it's a factory. I mean, they have an 8th grader that's really good that plays a lot.
Right. Well,
their setters, a freshman, they're going to be good for a long time
until they split up their school,
which
they're not going to because it might impact sports.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and then
You say it like that for?
Del Rapids won
because
the
that's part of their big school split thing is we're not going to let this school split thing impact sports, as opposed to like we need to split schools because it'll be better for education and this and that and blah blah blah. It's like, nope, we want to always stay good at sports. We're not going to split up our schools until we both know that both these schools are going to stay good at sports.
Aren't you like 50 yards from Harrisburg?
It's a mile.
Oh,
We're in the Lincoln School District. We do know a lot of Harrisburg people. It'd just be nice if they would split up, because it seems like they have a massive amount of kids that go out for all their sports, and like there's a lot of really good, I think, kids who don't get to play athletics because of that decision they're making.
but Harrisburg had some girls that were at O'Gorman and Roosevelt.
Yeah, the Venninge girl left Harrisburg and went to O'Gorman.
Yep.
Yep, and she's probably one of their better players. Her mom played volleyball at Augustana and has an aunt that played volleyball down at Iowa State. So the Venninge girl, her dad is from George Little Rock, played football with him back in the day, which is why I know a little bit about her and her background.
And then Del Rapids won the state A. They got a lot of power. They got, some height and really good setter, and really a sophomore outside that can hit.
Great.
She'll be playing D1 somewhere. And then Chester Flyers knocked off Warner in 5.
Which they should have. Or no, Warner's good, weren't they?
Well, Warner
And Chester's good.
Chester knocked Warner off their pedestal last year. Everybody thought Warner was going to win it, and then they lost.
Right.
And then Warner is pretty young, played really well, had a good tournament, but Chester won it again.
All right.
So there's my state tournament.
I did watch a little bit of
Corner.
it. Saw Rook on TV doing his thing, moving around, and then I sent him a message as to where I lived.
Yeah.
Knowing he wouldn't respond immediately. Did a good job. What game did you have? Did you go up on the stand, or were you?
I was
down on
up for the so Sioux Falls Christian had won it 7 years in a row, and I had the Dakota Valley Sioux Falls Christian game.
Okay.
That was a classic game, and went down to the last point.
Did you get yelled at?
No, not too bad.
Okay, not too bad.
No.
I think
The bracket is set. Do you guys have that in front of you?
No.
We can get it.
They're pulling it up.
So
Why
we
don't we
play the winner. We play the winner of Montana, Tennessee State.
Oh, so great. We got to play. Oh, Tennessee State. They almost beat NDSU. We got to play Montana. Haven't played them before.
South Dakota plays the winner of Drake, Tarkington State.
Carlton.
Excuse me.
Should we? Okay, here we go. They're going to pop this up now. Because they're still putting it up on TV.
North Dakota State plays the winner of Northern Arizona and Abilene Christian.
Ooh, Northern Arizona is a better football team than I think people give them credit for. Oh, Montana. Yeah. Great. Play Montana.
The rematch
of last year's championship.
And has Montana ever been to Brookings? I don't think they have.
I don't think they have. That's a good point. That'll be a fun game. Eric, do you want to do 3 headlines and a lie, and maybe, or do we do the one big question with Rook? I think the one big question for Rook, I'm not going to ask what's the most memorable experience, because you died on a basketball court and came back to life. But what is your most?
That wasn't memorable.
Well,
do you even remember that?
Any of it? What is the greatest SDSU event you've been to, live and in person, or maybe not even live?
I'm going to go back to I think I was out of college, but when the men's basketball team beat Fort Hays State in the regional final,
You were there.
Yeah, front row, loud. It was
in Frost,
and they were number 1, hadn't gotten beat. And
what year was this?
Eric,
let's age your. I don't want to age yourself.
90.
Is it 95?
97, 96, something like that.
If it was 97, I'd have been there. So I don't remember them beating Fort Hays State. That had to be, the 96, 97 season. It could have been.
So
Huh.
like Tom Rops would have been a senior that year.
Oh yeah, out of Lennox.
Or no,
I
that
think-
was they graduated. So then it would have been like Kurt Meister and Greg Himmler,
Was
Sam Sprott.
Cody Vollmer from
Vollmer.
Prussia? Would he be like a freshman then?
He might have been a freshman then, yeah.
Okay. And that was to go to
the Elite Eight.
Elite
and
Eight,
then they laid an egg when they got to the Elite Eight. So
sometimes that happens. Okay, 3 headlines and a lie, Gerlach. Because I don't know how this works, but if you have a hard out and I need you to make sure this all downloads, we need to be done before you're hard out. So 3 headlines and a lie while they keep popping up. Villanova will probably have to go play Incarnate Word. So 3 headlines and a lie. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Number 1, Pizza Hut is selling a tomato wine, and it's meant to taste just like pizza.
Okay. I don't believe
Number
that.
2, new Lego movie will tackle the history and rapid rise in popularity of kale.
Like the lettuce?
Yeah, like the green stuff. Kale.
Okay. I don't know if I believe that one either. Okay. You put some work in on that flight.
I know. Took a while. Big
Right.
delay out of Minneapolis. Scientists find a 35,000-year-old saber-toothed kitten in the Siberian permafrost.
Okay, that I believe. That sounds real.
And number 4, the greatest chess player of all time is bored with chess.
Born with what?
bored with
Bored.
chess.
Oh,
Bored.
board with chess. I can get. I
Like,
believe that. That's
Bored with
chess.
this podcast.
I'm gonna go number
Right.
2.
I'm going number 1.
I'm going number 1.
Legos is odd.
The Lego one, I think, is a deal to get kids to eat more greens. Maybe, I don't know.
Kale. What kind of hat are you wearing, Mark?
It's my Maui hat or my Hawaii hat.
Oh, just for
Honor of
Eric.
Eric being in Hawaii, yes.
Okay.
And then he made fun of me, which was great, and I love it.
Yeah, well, that
Why
happens.
we're here. So the DeGroats take number 2. Number 1. Rook took number 2.
Yep.
Have that correct? Mr. Rook would be correct. That was made up.
Huh.
All the other 3 are all at least headlines that you can find.
Pizza Hut and a pizza wine seems odd to me, being that you only can really get Pizza Hut in like convenience stores and like to go. So are you
Yeah,
ordering
so-
wine to go?
You're right. I think they're bringing back what's that called? The
Pizza Hut
triple
Book
treat
Club?
box.
Oh,
So now you can get your tomato wine. Pizza Hut explained in a statement, captures the essence of your favorite slice of every sip.
I think Pizza Hut should bring back the reading book club.
Where we got our little
The
personal
little
pan.
mini pan pizzas, which is the only time you ever got to go to Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Book it.
Yeah, book it. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I will finish it up with last night. I ventured down the road of the SAS and trying to plan a trip around the world and get that 1,000,000 points.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think I screwed up. I have it in a book. I'll finish it up this week, but I think I have to renavigate. I got to Europe too fast and needed to drop down into Mexico and South America to catch those 2 airlines and Virgin Atlantic. Now it's getting hard to find flights where you don't double book or end up on the same airline out of Africa. So I'm efforting it.
But then when you got it done, we're going.
Yeah, I'm gonna add it all up and see what it costs, and then I'm figuring it for like December 9th or 10th we leave,
Yeah.
and we'll see what it costs. There will be lack of sleep unless you can sleep on a plane.
Let's make pills for that.
All right, and booze.
Well, that's a kit.
Right. Well, let's make Hebe happy, being that you have to go, and I need to make sure it all downloads. And
Rook,
finish
thanks for
wrapping
being
stuff.
on. Come back anytime.
Thank you. It was
Yeah.
a pleasure.
Yeah. We'll make sure to have you on again.
We'll
So you
watch the
can see-
numbers. See if we get a bump, we'll just bring you back, and I'll just find something else to do.
Are you talking cocaine?
Hey, I got to redeem myself. Just 1 second.
Okay.
You're wrong.
That'll take
Montana
longer
has
than
not
that.
Montana has not played a football game at South Dakota State.
Oh, you said they had?
I never said they did. We were just questioning that earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think they had,
I
so.
didn't think
They
ever had.
haven't.
Okay. With that, I'm going to say go big.
Go
Go
blue.
blue.
Go Jacks.
Thanks, guys.